It's amazing, guys. It's episode 50. Went through and I looked through all of the players that we selected and that I kept track of, and I want to tell you a few amazing ones. And we're going to start with the best pick in the first round belongs to the dreaded Lions, DeMarcus Johnson, superstar development running back right here. Very solid, very solid. Not much to work on there with him. He's pretty solid. So I give them the number one pick. Now, that being said, with the 34th pick, which is outside the number one, the Texans here, they picked up the second quarterback in the draft, quarterback number 2, Eric Roy. So they look like they're set for their quarterback of the future. The Raiders, with the 44th pick overall, picked up a really solid player. Let's see. This wide receiver here, superstar, 75 overall development with a 44th pick. So we picked, where did we pick? We picked 27th, and it's interesting, I don't have a 28 on here. We picked 27th. I'm sorry, I'm just looking real quick. Anyways, let's see, what was available? Our pick was a quick development right end. Marcel Clinton was drafted in 29th, and he was a Charger. Went to the Chargers because these were players that I needed. I'm kind of rambling here, but so cornerback and wide receiver. So we actually got, out of the players drafted afterwards that I kind of looked at, we got a pretty good one, except for, well, even Phillips, even this wide receiver of the Bills here. Let's just look at him real quick. I was thinking about this guy right here. Quick development, 6'1", 90 speed. That would have been pretty solid. I'm happy with our number one pick overall. I'm happy with our number 2 pick overall, and I'm happy with my very last pick of the draft, which was the punter. So we are done with the draft. We're on episode 50 here. I gotta put some videos in, and I might look to see if I want to adjust my roster to see if players fit in better spots. Some of these lower end players that are not so good, maybe I can make them into something else. I don't know. I don't think I can, actually. But it is what it is. They're going to be practice squad players. So we'll move on, and we'll start the regular season next. Look who I found, guys. It's Mason Crosby in his 16th year. Still going at it. That's funny. Quick development. I'm just kind of going down the list here of the free agents available. Devontae Adams is the 3rd highest free agent available. I'm not interested in bringing him in, but just taking a look here. Saw Mason Crosby, Navarro Bowman's. Casey Hayward. Boy, it was a bad idea for the Packers to let you go. There's Crosby Ivy. He was a former Packer player. Just taking a look. Malcolm Butler. Nick Boyle. It's Manning. Hey, there we go. Eric Fisher's still in it. Mike Pouncey. And we're just going down the list here. List that never ends. There we go. Free agents. Nick Folk's still looking for a job. Alright guys, preseason's over. There is a lot of things going on my computer right now. Processing a video for YouTube, uploading a video for YouTube, watching a YouTube video, got Excel open, Steam open, Firefox open, so my computer is just hog city, and it's recording the PlayStation. So we're not going to get much for frame rate here, but you'll be able to hear me. This is how the preseason went. I won my last game against Detroit, against Craig Patterson, the cheating skate coach, jerk face, whatever. And as you can see, Dwight Brown threw 1 touchdown and 4 interceptions and had 44% completion passer rating. And then Aaron Rodgers didn't do much better. So that is not a very good statistic. Here we can see that Jordan Talbert limited carries, almost 5 yards a carry. Got a touchdown, so that's good. Casey Sloan here. Nick Wire ran once and hurt himself and didn't play the rest of the preseason. So there we go. Running backs, Jordan Talbert's going to be a starter and Dylan Smallwood will be the backup. So I'm okay with that running game. Receiving, Nordling Henderson, the good old infamous blocking tight end, got 20 catches. And fullback, tight ends, ooh, a lot of dump offs here. And then finally the wide receivers get their chance to show what they got. Defensively, I guess we should just look at total tackles. It's good to see these kind of things. Let's look at sacks. Hopefully this is updating on the screen. Right now, Worlds, our first round pick, 2 sacks. Diamond McFarland had 2 sacks. Yannick, I don't even Nguku, I don't know, 1.5. Every Marrow, Mike Gasparin. There you go. That's what we had. Punted the ball 23 times. Kicked 9 out of 10 for field goals. 1 return, punt returns. A couple of people did punt returning. There we go. Preseason is over. We beat the Lions. Regular season will start next. So I was going to try to sign Davante Adams, but I couldn't find him. And I found him when we were playing Minnesota Vikings. There he is. He is now a Minnesota Viking. 3rd wide receiver behind Stephen Diggs and Rowan Cash, Davante Adams. So that's entertaining. The Packers are 2-1 right now. They lost to Carolina and beat the first 2 games. And we still need to look up to see who the Browns drafted. Alright guys, so let's just take a quick look at how the Packers are doing through 7 weeks of football. And as you can see, they are 3-3. They beat the Dolphins, they beat the Bears, that was great. They choked the game against the Panthers. Let's take a look at the stats for the Panthers. Aaron Rodgers, 1 touchdown, 4 interceptions. Rushing, Dylan Smallwood had a rush, and he did really well. Receiving, Packers only. It was not great. But if your quarterback is not helping the cause, the Packers defense is doing really well. I have changed some sliders on the speed, so we shall see how that goes. In this one, they are not changed anyway. So they pulled out a win against the Vikings, as you can see, by scoring 14 points in the 4th quarter. Aaron Rodgers did not play well, but we weren't facing Teddy Bridgewater. We were facing Ryan McDermott, who is not very good. And rushing-wise, their starting running back was also hurt, so we faced a worse running back. This is a running team. The Packers are such a running team, and I turned the play clock up a few seconds, so I'm trying to get the the number of plays to be more realistic, but it was just not enough time, so there was like 1-2 seconds whenever the game would end, or the play call would be done. So now I've made it 14 seconds, but so you can see here that there's just no passing yards. Defensively, we got a couple of sacks in. So moving on down the line here was a loss to the Cowboys, which was Aaron Rodgers, no touchdowns, no interceptions. Rushing wise, they did not have Ezekiel Elliott for most of the game, so we were able to do okay on the rushing side, but couldn't stop Max Williams, which I think is hilarious. And the Packers a little better passing, but not much. And then the Jets game, and the Jets earned 1 touchdown, 1 interception. As you can see, rushing wise, we could not stop their 90 overall running back, Jonathan Rutledge. So it just didn't work so well. Let's look at just the Packers defense. No sacks, no interceptions. So you can see that the Packers are struggling a little bit, and they are a half game up in first place because they still haven't played they played the 5-2 Philadelphia Eagles, which I'm guessing is going to be a tough one. So I went and put a bunch of players on the trade block, and because this is the final week of the trade season, and mostly defensive players, Richard Sherman and Quentin Rollins, anyone that was in the kind of like I didn't think we were going to bring him back next year, just to see if we get anyone. We did get one offer for Cam Jordan, and I'm going to take it because I'd rather have Ty Worlds anyways playing, and he's just not working out very well. He's just not improving. He just doesn't have the stats, I guess. So, but Ty Worlds is going to take over where Cam Jordan, when Cam Jordan gets traded. We're going to look at, remember, the Bills traded us their 2024, so 2 years from now, second, third, and fourth for the second round pick that the Packers had, and the Browns picked a middle linebacker. They picked up not this one, this one. So with their second, third, and fourth round, this is what they got this year. So the Packers made out great on that one. So I'll show you the Cameron Jordan offer, because we only got one offer for a 2014, 2024 third round and seventh round, which I'm going to do. I just want to make some notes of it. And then remember I said that now I can pick one player from I can trade for one player. And so I went and looked through here. There is a superstar development quarterback here, 25 years old, but I already have one of those because I'm going to keep. No one offered I had an offer for what's his name, Nick Wire. Is it Nick Wire? I think it is Nick Wire. I had an offer for Nick Wire at the beginning of the season, but I took it off, and then I put him back on the trade market, and nobody wanted him. So we're going to have an expensive backup for a year, but I'm going to keep him. I'm going to re-sign him. His contract is due. We can kind of look through this real quickly. As currently, I'm not interested in bringing Cam Chancellor back. I'll pick him back up through free agency. Richard Sherman is not working out very well. Cam Jordan's going to get traded. I'm going to re-sign Randall Cobb because I'm stupid like that, and I want the hometown players. I don't know. Just what I'm going to do. And Nick Wire is going to get re-signed, and I might re-sign Trevor Russell here, but the rest of them are not going to get re-signed, and I might not re-sign Trevor Russell either. I might just go fresh on the cornerbacks. So we're going to lose that's our 3 starting cornerbacks that are going to go away. So Richard Sherman and Drew Russell. Oh, I think technically Matthew Royster passed them, but so we're going to re-sign him. That's it. Just those 2 left on the re-signings. Okay, we're going to go back to the improve your team. So I looked through all the players, and I found one player that I think could, because we're not going to re-sign Julius Theory, so we're gonna trade for this guy right here, a 25-year-old superstar with 78 development, and then I'll just put him on the 300 EXP wheel there, and we'll get him up a little bit here. His player card really is pretty solid. Like, I mean, he's all in the 80s. He just has awareness and release to bring up, and I mean, this is going to be pretty easy to increase his. He's going to be in the mid 80s pretty quickly, I think. So he's going to be our starting. He's going to move quickly up the ladder, that's for sure. So that's what we got there, guys. It's been kind of a weird year with the failure on my part to re-sign the coach, and now we have a new head coach who isn't as good, and learning experience. So I'm going to continue the season, and episode 50 pretty much is going to be all of the 2020 season. All right, see you in a little bit. Well, here's what I did, guys. I traded away Richard Sherman, and now he's a Cleveland Brown. The 3rd and 4th round picks for the wide receiver, the superstar wide receiver. So we'll see what happens. Maybe I should have done a higher. I should have took the 3rd and then seen how that worked. And that's kind of cherry picking. Anyways, there we go. Got a new wide receiver. I found another former Packer. Donald Cleveland is the punter for the Eagles, and he's doing great. And I'm glad for him. That's unfortunate that the Packers just fumbled the ball there, but he wanted a 5-year, $18 million deal, and I just wasn't for that when you can pick up punters on the cheap. But maybe he was worth it. I don't know. Guys, that was hard to watch. So hard to watch. The Packers are inept on offense, and Coach Patterson just had all of the answers to the Packers. Matthew Stafford even got hurt, and their backup quarterback came in. So I guess I can't really blame it on Aaron Rodgers. He had a better rating than both of them combined, but couldn't stop the run and couldn't run the ball. Didn't really have much for yardage because Aaron Rodgers is really struggling defensively. Got 3 sacks, no interceptions. It's I don't know. I just don't know. I mean, you know, for how terrible it seems, we're like really close to being first place in our division, even though this team is not as good as last year's team. And I made some slider changes, but that should affect both the computer and us. So like I've been messing with the speed thing because I want I'm not sure what I want better, if speed should matter more, you know, or if it should matter less. But I kind of messed with that a little bit. Let's look at this. See, we're 3-5. The Vikings are 3-4, 3-4, 3-5. So we're all tied. Basically, we're gonna fall down the division. I want to look at my owner staff. Let's just have a hypothetical on the coaching staff. Available coaches. Hybrid defense, balanced offense. Scott Smith. I Attacking 3-4. Hey, Jeffrey Hope. Attacking 4-3 in power run. A spread offense. That's what we need for Aaron Rodgers, huh? West Coast. Hey, Mike Zimmer. Jason Brooks, expert scouting, crease player. Mike Malarkey. Jay Gruden. Chip Kelly, the spread, 3-4. Hugh Jackson. Dirk Carter. Huh. Expert scouting player, increase. Vertical offense with an attacking 3-4. You know, maybe it's time to fire our coach and hire Dirk Goder. All right, I'm sorry, guy. Daniel Singer, you just didn't last very long. And now we're gonna make an offer of. Well, this takes a long time. I was gonna give him $4 million. $4 million a year. Come be our coach. Our offer has been accepted. Yeah, it better be. You are getting overpaid. So there we go. Vertical offense attacking 4-3. Going back to that original defense. The Tampa defense, maybe that's just not what we needed. So let's take a look at our coach. Player schemes. Player schemes. We need a vertical offense. We're going to go back to something that there we go. And then an attacking 4-3. Yeah, like the 46. That'd be funny. Oh, he was Tampa Bay's. Should we just stick to Tampa Bay then? Let's do that. Tampa Bay it is. Vertical offense and attacking 4-3. Pocket passer, power back, blocking fullback, possession wide receiver, route runner on 3, vertical tight end. Yep, there we go. Our problems are solved. We're going to win the division now. We have a new coach. Let's advance to next week. Guys, this is the end of episode 50. As you can see, there we go. That's what everybody had to say about the firing of Daniel Singer and the hiring of our new coach. So hopefully Aaron Rodgers can turn it around and we can get into the playoffs here. That's it. Thank you. See you in episode 51.